guys, welcome back to Southern Extreme TV. I am so sorry that I have not been posting a lot of videos here recently. I've had a lot of stuff going on, trying to get caught up with my main job. Obviously, YouTube right now does not pay the bills, so I'm got to make sure that my priority, my number one job gets taken care of. And then I just had a lot of other stuff going on. I've had a couple buddies getting married, and it's been really hectic. On top of the fact that turkey season just ended, so I had a lot of my time dedicated to turkey hunting, which I did tag out this year, which was absolutely awesome. So if you guys have been keeping up with the channel, hopefully you've already seen those episodes of me shooting the 2 turkeys that I killed this year. So I'm super excited and was fortunate enough to be able to do that. So now that turkey season is out, and I guess we are into the summertime fishing vlog product review style videos. I want to kick off a product review to kind of start off that summer swing. This is a really slow month, or a slow period for my channel, so I want to just try to post as much content as I can for you guys, for those of you that do keep up with me and do watch my stuff. So today I have a awesome video for you guys, and hopefully you're going to enjoy it, because I am super pumped to be able to do a review for this product, and not just this product, but for this company in general, because this is a phenomenal company. And what I'm talking about, guys, is BOG, B-O-G, BOG Pod. These guys, you're probably familiar with them. They got their kind of niche in the industry by making really high quality bipods and tripods that are portable. You see a lot of guys using them going out and hunting for elk, mule deer, things like that, especially in like safari style situations where you're doing a lot of spot and stalking, and especially in ground blinds where you're sitting on the ground. And they also came out with this new product, which I reached out to them and asked them if they'd be willing to send me one to do a review, and they did it. So thank you so much, BOG Pod, and BOG, I guess it's just BOG in general, for sending me this, because this is a phenomenal product and I'm excited to share it with you guys. What I am talking about is a new product called the Death Grip, and essentially this is designed around the new influx of high quality Army or Marine style tripod sniper setups that you see a lot of guys using, that are this heavy duty, sturdy, just built rugged tripod that you can beat and bang and just, really put it through the works without it breaking. And they created one. Now, I've done a review for a couple of these in the past, and to be honest with you, if you have a quality company that makes a good product, typically their products are going to be good, especially if they're made in America. Now, BOG, number one, they've got the name brand behind their product. They've been in the industry for a good minute, and they've got the engineering behind it too, which is phenomenal. So let me get this box out of the way and just kind of show you guys a little bit about this tripod, and kind of talk you through some of the key features on this tripod that I like and that I really think is a crucial asset to take into the woods, whether you're going to be target practicing or mainly in a hunting style situation. So first of all, I want to talk about the meat of the tripod, which is the head that goes on it. The head, to me, is the most important part of a tripod, because it can make or break basically how the tripod functions. And this style head is actually almost like a brace. And what will actually happen is you have a dial over here that you can actually loosen, take the rifle out, place the rifle in, tighten this saddle, if you will, down, kind of tighten it down, and then your rifle is pretty much solid. You can see I'm picking this tripod up all the way off the bottom. Oh, heavy gun, and it is handling it with ease. I really like the way that this saddle is made. It's designed specifically, I'm not going to say it's designed specifically for any type of gun, because on the inside it's lined with rubber, which is a really good idea, because what it does is it gives you a little extra grip, even if there's a lot of moisture in the air, or maybe it's raining a little bit, that rubber is still going to grip to whatever material the fore end of your rifle is. It's going to grip and hold on to it. Another good thing is, instead of it being like a plastic or something hard, you're not going to have to worry about it damaging or scratching your rifle, which for me is kind of a plus, because I love my rifles a whole lot, and I don't want them to get beat and banged up, if at all possible. So that the fact that I can really tighten down on this saddle and really get a good hold onto this, a good sturdy hold, means a lot to me. So that's your dial that you're going to have on the right side, is basically just going to be the adjustment for your saddle. And this goes out, and take this gun out and show you guys. I mean, I can fit my entire arm in this thing. So if you have those really big, bulky stocks that a lot of you long range shooters have on some of your bench rifles, you can fit it in here, which is awesome. And then show you guys how thin it goes. If you've got some of these really small 22s, maybe you want to take your kid out squirrel hunting or target practicing, whatever it is, it will go really, really small so that you can get those smaller caliber rifles in there as well, or possibly even a pistol. So the versatility, number one, being able to fit different style rifles and different size rifles inside this saddle, to me, is a phenomenal point that they have put onto this tripod. Secondly, they've got two other adjustments. The other adjustment on this left side here, basically all this does is it tightens or loosens the up and down function of this rifle. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys that this is not tight enough to hold my rifle. You can tell that it holds it there, but it slowly goes. Now, the reason I'm using this rifle is because this is absolutely the heaviest rifle that I own. It is a 308 AR-10 style rifle with a 20-inch stainless steel barrel, and it is made from Palmetto State Armory, and this is just your typical A2 stock on the back. So it is a really, really heavy rifle. And well, actually right there, it's actually holding it up, but you can tell that it's actually angled down a little bit. So I'm trying to counter some of that weight. So technically, I guess, yes, this tripod will hold a over 10-pound rifle in the air without you having to have your hands on it, which I guess if you're in a ground blind, you'd be kind of sitting in a similar situation that I'm in right now. You're sitting in a chair, kind of in a confined area, and you don't have to have your gun laid across your lap. You don't have to have it, you know, on your body the entire time, which I think is pretty cool. But as soon as you move that center point and distribute that weight a little bit, it looks like it's going to prove me wrong now. It's actually doing better than what I was saying. It's going a little bit, but it's even holding it, and then there it goes. So you can tell that it has that little breaking point between where it wants to hold it and where it's just kind of doing its own little thing. So I mean, it's not bad. I would like for it to be tight enough, in my opinion, so that I can have this gun completely horizontal with the ground and it hold it just like that. So when I take my hand off, I would like for it to be able to hold that. And the reason being is I don't have to have any extra movement, because typically I'm going to be in a hunting situation and I want to limit as much movement as possible. So if I'm in a ground blind, I don't want to have the stock of the gun hit me straight in the face, as you can tell here, because that's going to hinder me being able to look out my windows, get my binoculars up, things like that. And I don't want it to be all the way down here, because that's the extra amount of time that I've got to get this rifle up. I want to be able to adjust this tripod to whatever height that I need and have this rifle here to where I can look straight through it and get on target really fast. So that's probably the only negative that I have about this tripod. Actually, I take that back. I've got one other negative, and I will get into that later into the video. But I give it an 8 out of 10 as far as this saddle goes. It holds it snug. It's not quite tight enough to hold it where your rifle is completely horizontal with the ground. But if you wanted to, you know, distribute your weight and kind of angle it a certain way, it does hold it. And I am really confident that it's not going to tip over or anything crazy. And you can see there I'm kind of jarring it a little bit, and it kind of starts to go. But for the most part, it's holding it pretty solid. I give that an 8 out of 10. Now you're also going to have a third dial. Let's try to spin around so you guys can see here. Right here's the third dial, and it's kind of small and out of the way. And the reason being that it's kind of small and out of the way, I actually like this. Excuse me. I actually like this. And what this is a dial that adjusts how smooth your rifle can swing from left to right. So you can tell there that just a little push of the finger and this rifle is just kind of moving on its own very, very freely. And then say I want to restrict that a little bit, I can tighten that down and you can tell that it's a little more difficult for me to push around. And then you can find that little happy medium where you can be really fluid, and then when you take your hand off, it stops. And typically that's what I would want in a tripod like this. I would want to be able to, as I'm swinging or moving it on target, and as soon as I want to stop, the tripod stops itself. I don't want the weight of the gun to be carrying into or giving momentum when I try to stop. If you leave this a little too loose, sometimes that will happen. But any tripod is going to be like that. Any tripod will have a dial to where it can be too loose, in my personal opinion. So the fact that you can tighten this down to where pretty much it's not going anywhere unless you physically move it, and you have the ability to find that happy medium where as soon as you let your hand off, she stops. And the reason that you want that is up and down wise and side to side. Whenever you're following a target, you can move diagonal, however you want to move. You're going to be on target, and you're going to be very, very solid trying to pull the trigger on whatever it is that you're shooting. So as far as that goes, I'm giving that a 10 out of 10. All these knobs are metal, so there's no plastic. That's another good thing about this, because as much as I like to try to take care of my stuff, I'm very, very rough on my gear. And the fact that these are metal and they're actually big knobs, so you can really get some good torque onto it. So it's nothing like you're going to be fumbling around looking for, trying to find a small little knob. These are big, just kind of out there knobs, but they're not too gaudy. They're just easy to grab a hold to, easy to loosen and to tighten, which is good. And the fact that they're metal means that they're going to last a long time, and you're not going to bump them up against a tree or trip and fall and break it, which, let's be honest, we've all been there and done that, where you fall or you do something stupid and you break your gear. This isn't going to happen. So that's pretty much covers the fluid head that is on top of this tripod, which makes or breaks a tripod, in my personal opinion. Anybody can make a tripod that is sturdy enough on the base to where it will hold and support a rifle, but the fluid head really and truly makes it all. So moving on from there, we're going to work my way down and go into the legs of everything. One of the nicer points about this tripod is the majority of the other tripods that I've reviewed, whenever you adjust the legs, they typically all have a lock to where the leg will only go out to a certain amount until you either pull out a button or you release a lock or you do something funky to where you can spread those legs a lot farther. Maybe if you're sitting down prone and you really want to spread those legs out like a lot of guys do that are shooting long range, you have to do all this kind of fancy button clicking and all kinds of stuff just to get that functionality. The cool thing about this is it is a very simple push of a button. So right here you've got a big red button, and all you have to do is mash that in, and look at there, she goes straight out. Literally, I'm not good with degrees, but let's see here, it actually tells you a degree. 85 degrees is what that says. So that's essentially a 90-degree angle from where your saddle is and where your gun is to where that leg goes. It makes an 85-degree angle. So that is a lot of adjustment. Now the cool thing is it's not an all or nothing type of system. So it's not a, well, you got to be either here or you got to be at 90 degrees. You actually have a stage in between, which is probably my favorite slot, which is a 45-degree angle. This gives you a really solid base whenever you move all of these legs to that 45-degree position. And you can see just about how wide that's going to go. It's going to be kind of hard to do it on this small porch, but you can see how wide. If I was to do this other one, spread it out, you get a really good sturdy base. You can really get your weight into that gun and get a solid rest. So the fact that I have the versatility to do that, and they almost make it dummy proof. And trust me, I've got to have as much help as I can when it comes to having stuff that's dummy proof. They actually give you a number on the inside. There's a little slot cut out in the tripod leg, and you can actually see it says 20, which is a 20-degree angle, which is what the I guess the tallest section of the legs is. And then you mash it into that next one, it says 45, which is your 45-degree angle. Mash it in again, there's your 85. When you see it's 85, that tells you that your legs are gonna go all the way out And then obviously your 45, you can get to a 45-degree angle. And then once you mash it down to 20, you get your 20-degree angle. So the only bad thing about this tripod, those are awesome, you know, key points in my opinion. And there's two more negatives that I want to go over. And really and truly, one of them is one that I just noticed, is how loud these clicks are. They're not too bad, but that's still a lot louder than what I would like to hear in the woods, because right now the wind's blowing a little bit. It's not cold outside, it's hot outside, which kind of dampens the way that noise travels. So if it was really cold and I was in a ground blind and I went to go click this, that would spook just about every animal in the woods. But granted, I will also play devil's advocate here and say that typically if you're in a ground blind or you're in some type of situation like that, you're already going to have your legs set up and you're already going to be stabilized. The only time that's really going to be an issue is if you're consistently moving, maybe you're doing a spot and stalk on an animal or something along those lines. That might be something that would kind of kick you in the butt. But to be honest, as heavy as this dang thing is, I doubt you're going to be carrying it up through the Colorado Rockies chasing a bull elk with it, just for the simple fact that this dang thing is heavy. Now, obviously they've got to put a little bit of bulk to it because they're designing a tripod to be sturdy, it's well built, everything is made of metal, and they really just do not want you to have the opportunity to break this thing, which is phenomenal. But giving you all of that sacrifices the weight, and that is probably the biggest negative to me personally, is the weight, because I have to carry so much gear into the woods anyway, that any way that I can cut weight is a must for me. I've got camera gear, I got camera arms, I got camera equipment, because I'm a one-man show. I don't have somebody else backpacking stuff in. And I'm telling you right now, this bad boy right here, I don't even know if they put the weight on here. Let's see if they put the weight on. I guarantee you, no, they actually did. Good for them. This thing weighs 8.5 pounds. So it's almost essentially like another gun. Let me show you that. 8.5 pounds right there. So it is almost like carrying another rifle. It's exactly like carrying another rifle, but the only issue with it is that it's a lot more bulky than a rifle is. I mean, because it's a tripod. I mean, it's not a rifle. It's bulky. It's a tripod with a big old head. 8.5 pounds. You got to carry this son of a gun around and carry your rifle around. It's just a lot if you're spotting and stalking. But once you get there and you get this bad boy set up, then you're cooking with peanut oil again, because this bad boy is solid. And I love it. I mean, there's only a couple negatives about it, and just being honest with you, it's heavy. The buttons are kind of loud, and you know, they click a lot. But other than that, everything that went into the engineering of this tripod is great. I love the saddle up top. I love the big bulky knobs. I love that they're easy to turn, they're fluid, there's no tricky buttons. Everything is simple, everything is laid out, and everything was really thought about when trying to make this tripod. And typically guys that are making these tripods are not trying to make them for a really lightweight use. So yes, it's heavy, but you got to understand what you're buying this tripod for. You're probably not going to buy this tripod to pack it into the Colorado Rockies or going on a mule deer hunt or anything like that. It's just too big. It doesn't make sense. Typically you're going to have a bipod on the end of your gun like I have on this gun if you're going to do that style of hunting anyway. I mean, that's pretty much it. I do want to point out down here on the bottom that it is really easy. They have these really big clamps that really make for grabbing and opening, so where you can adjust this tripod. It makes it really easy. Now this thing does go really tall, and I'll just kind of show you guys exactly how tall it goes. And I have no idea why you would want to use the legs this dang tall. But if you ever do, maybe if you played in the NBA, I mean, I can literally walk up under that. The gap in that is almost 5 foot. I mean, you can tell it goes up and over the camera angle. So maybe, I guess if you're in the NBA, or maybe you're shooting up a steep hill, a really steep hill, you might need that much adjustment. But other than that, I don't know why you would possibly need that much. But like I said, guys, it is well thought out, well engineered, and in my opinion, it is well put together. So I'm gonna give this product an overall 8.5 out of 10. I'm gonna knock it a couple points just for the simple fact that it's heavy and the buttons are kind of loud whenever you click them. That's the only bad thing about it. Down here on the foot of it though, you do have these adjustments where you can screw this in and you have this nice sharp silver point to where if you're outside, you're in the dirt or in the grass or something, that point will bury up into the ground so your tripod's not sliding around. But then if you're shooting maybe like on concrete or you're going to a shoot where you're on a hard surface, maybe rocks, you can screw that all the way up and it will cover up that point and you have a nice rough rubber grip down here on the bottom. So that way, if you're on that slick surface, you're not going to go anywhere. You've got a good grip, which is very nice that these guys thought about that. And then I'll close it up here just that way you guys can see kind of what it looks like when it's fully collapsed. You can break these legs down, and then they even give you this nice kind of pretty rugged rubber strap that goes around, and it has a very simple latch so that you can latch it where it's not going to be going anywhere. If you guys have a really heavy duty backpack that is designed to have maybe a gun on the right side and maybe a gun on the left side, you could probably mount this on the left side of your pack, mount your gun on the right side of your pack if you're going in on a big mountain hike or a mountain hunt or something like that. You have that ability to do that. I don't know, it's kind of big, it's kind of gaudy, but man, I love it. Something about it I just absolutely love. And I think it's just the engineering behind it and the fact that everything is built with quality. I never even knew BogPod made anything like this, and I seen it advertised, the Death Grip, and I said, man, I really want to get my hands on this and try it, especially for coyote hunting. So I'm, obviously it's not coyote season here, but I'm definitely going to try this once coyote season comes back in January. I will be taking this in and trying it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoy the product. If you guys have been looking for a heavy duty, sturdy tripod that doesn't require all these fancy gizmos and gadgets to be able to attach your gun on the top, you want something that's simple, that's versatile, easy to use, and is going to get the job done, and you don't have to worry about breaking it, try this BogPod Death Grip. I'm going to put a link down into the description that will take you directly to Amazon or somewhere where you can buy it. More than likely it's going to be Amazon. That's where I try to send all you guys to, just because it's a very secure website. So if you're in the market and you're looking for something like that, check these guys out. Check out BogPod. They're a phenomenal company. They have awesome customer service. They make a quality product. And I think this stuff is going to last a long time. I don't see this tripod falling apart anytime soon. So guys, if you're in the market, go check them out. I appreciate you guys watching. Again, as always, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to hang out with me here on my channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button in the top left corner, somewhere right over in here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button that's going to pop up right there. I'm trying to grow this thing to 100,000 subscribers. Hey, and I can only do it with your help, so each and every click counts, guys. Thank you again for watching my channel. I'll be sure to bring you guys along on all of my adventures coming up in the future. It's going to be a good summer, a lot of product reviews, a lot of fishing. It's going to be fun, and I can't wait to share it all with you guys. Thanks for watching.